What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And on today's episode, we're going to give you guys a bit of an update on Vato. So as you can see, the work has started. My work bay is looking a little bit pumped out. But as always, if you guys want to see more of Chip Stress, stay tuned. Those of you that know me for a very long time will know that I used to work on cars physically. With the shop growing so much and me having to be a CEO, I hardly find time to work on the cars. But now obviously with the team growing, our staff complement growing, it's freeing up a little bit of my time. So ideally, I would love to start working on cars again. So that's the whole reason as to why we are making this place the way it is. So this is how the place looked before. This is currently how it looks now. So we painted the walls black. We did the epoxy flooring, and I'm gonna be adding a little bit of flavor, but I'll get to that now. And ideally, this is where we are gonna shoot a lot of content for you guys. So once a car is finished, done, instead of us shooting it elsewhere, we're gonna try and shoot it in here and do a bit of a walk around, etc. And also when we do our technical videos, we're going to be doing everything from here. So technically, this is going to be our studio area. And I think it's important for us to have a studio area because the channel is growing, we're producing more content, so it only made sense. So with that being said, I'm pleased to announce that Vato is the first car in the studio that we are going to be shooting. So for now, Vato is stripped. We stripped the car almost completely, and we made a list of the stuff that needs to be done and ordered. So for example, the ragtop sunroof has been ordered. It will arrive in about a week's time. The leather has arrived, so we will be starting on the seats. And like I mentioned, there's not a lot of work on Vato. Vato actually is the car with the least amount of work in my collection. So I'm confident that we will make the shipping date. And also I'm confident that there's no hidden surprises because I'm actually in contact with the previous owner of Vato, and he sent me some pictures of how he looked after Vato and also the process he took when restoring Vato. So you guys can see it's quite an intense restoration that Vato went through. So this is technically Vato's second restoration. So when I actually video called him, he had a big smile on his face. He's still got an emotional attachment. So yeah, it's kind of cool that I'm still in contact with the previous owner, and he's just as excited as me and you guys for the build on Vato. Now, I'm sure you guys must be thinking, what color and what design did we go with for Vato? So for me, when we tallied up the numbers, most of you guys voted for the exterior black, the wasabi green interior, and the green ragtop sunroof. So a massive round of applause to all you guys for voting for that option. that was my first option, I'm not gonna lie. You guys know I love black cars, and I think a black Benz has like this authority. So massive thank you to everyone that voted. So right, let's get into it now. So as you guys can see, Vato has been stripped, and we've started bodywork on the doors and the boot lid. Once again, this car is not being built during working hours because I need to respect my clients. Few of the guys are working on a schedule where they are staying a little bit later in the afternoon to actually do work on Vato, and that's how I'm trying to juggle it out. Luckily for us, touch wood, there's no load shedding like what happened with Mkabi. So we want to make sure the lighting is good enough so when we're shooting and we're working on the car, we'll be able to see what's happening. So I want to show you guys Vato's motor. Okay, so this is the stock 2.8 dual carb motor. I'm not going to be doing a motor swap now. However, I am going to be tidying up the engine bay. So for example, I think I'll definitely recon the radiator. I'm going to change a few of the pipes. I'm going to put a new distributor cap. I'm going to polish the tappet cover, change the coil, just dress up the engine bay a little bit so that it actually looks nice like the outside. And then later on, I will consider doing a motor swap. But for now, it's fine. We definitely need to service Vato and change the oil because Vato's been sitting for a very long time. So that's basically what we're going to do with the engine bay. Vato's got a manual air ride kit, and I'm not going to be modernizing the air ride kit. It's got the 3 pedal valves in the front, so I'm going to leave it because it looks very nice, and it's also a testament to Vato being an old school car. However, I am going to try and give it a bit of a funky boot install. So we're going to be going with two 3-gallon seamless tanks. We're going to be going with 4 compressors, upgrading all the lines, and putting braided hoses front to back, obviously for the safety factor. Then I'm going to be doing a sound install as well. Now I'm super excited for the sound install because I've been dying to collaborate with Raj and Palm. So the idea is that we will build the install when the car gets to the UK. Raj and Palm and team from Car Audio and Security are going to be installing the sound system into the car. And I'm super excited for that purely because they've been so good to us, South Africa. And I think we have to support their business because Raj and Palm have treated us like VIPs every time we go there. So we have to give back to them as well. So that's why I'm supporting their business and getting them to do the sound install for us. And that's again what I'm hoping this car will do, like what Mkabi did. And on that point as well, I'm super excited to announce the sponsors that we managed to get on board. We've got some good names that have jumped at the opportunity to be a part of this build, and that makes me feel so humbled because they believe in the vision, they believe in the dream. So I'll get to the sponsors in a bit. But yeah, so basically we're gonna go with the 2 subwoofer, 2 amplifier, coaxial split system, a little bit of a modernized head unit, sound system in the car, 2 tanks, 4 compressors. We're definitely gonna do something crazy here. I've got a few ideas, but I'm gonna leave that as a surprise for you guys. So yeah, that's about it. In terms of interior, the wasabi green is gonna look absolutely amazing. I'm excited for that. My only stress is the ragtop sunroof. So we've never fitted a ragtop before, but luckily I've got a killer fabricator in terms of metal work, and we do a lot of sunroof conversions. So I don't think it will be a difficult task. If need be, I am chatting to the guys at IS Motorsport. They might also come through and come and help us out with the ragtop sunroof. So ideally, I'd like to have that done prior to Vato receiving paint. So after Vato is prepared or whatever, we'll basically just cut the roof open and fit the ragtop, and then obviously prep around the area and then paint the car. So I'm excited for that. Never a dull moment, guys. So old cars always give you hidden surprises. So Vato's got rust on the doors. Luckily, it's not as bad as Nkabi's rust, but we picked up some rust on the bottom corners of the doors. So luckily, we picked it up now before we do the preparation. So how do we solve it? Simple. We're going to have to cut out the rusted piece, and we're going to have to replate it and refabricate this corner. So luckily, that's the only bit of rust on Vato. So that normally happens with the old cars. Common old school car problem is you find rust on the bottom of the doors. What happens is when it rains, sometimes the seals don't seal correctly. Water collects on the inside of the door and it sits here, and water against metal is not a good thing. So hence, that's why the bottom pieces of the doors are rusted. So luckily, it's only the two back doors, the corner pieces. So this is how it looks now. You guys will see how we are going to fabricate it. We're actually going to film the whole process of building the piece, welding it in. I'm also going to take you guys through what type of welding we do and the type of sheet metal we use as well. So looking forward to that. Remember, it's going to be educational for you guys. I want to show you guys something else and some more progress on Vato, so follow me. There's a little test that we like to do. Thank you, Lance from Brooklyn Paints. You guys would have met Lance on a previous video. Lance was a legend of the guy that came through and did training on my paint shop staff. So this is one of the tips and tricks he's taught us. So because we're working on old cars that have had previous work done before, it's important for us to understand what type of work was done previously on the car. And the way we find that out is by doing a solvent test. Now we're going to show you guys an example of how to do a solvent test. So this is a tip for you guys. If you are purchasing an old car or you're restoring an older car that has had previous paint work, not original paint work, it's important that you do this test, because this test is going to determine where you start in terms of preparation with the car. Do you take the car down to metal, or are you able to work with what's already on the car and give the car a light sand down or a light flat, etc.? Let's do the solvent test.
Okay, great guys. So first step on our solvent test. So we want to rub down our panel first to prep it for the solvent test. Okay, we don't need a very big patch. Just need a good amount of space to work with. So there's a few solvents that we can use, but one of the best ones is acetone. So that's what we're going to be using today. So basically what we're trying to look for is for any breakthrough, any failure on the current paintwork. So by breakthrough or failure, what I'm trying to say is we're looking for any swelling, we're looking for any dissolving of the solvents, and we're also looking if the current paint feels tacky. And from there, we would know if the paint is too weak for paint to sit on it, or we need to strip the car to bare metal. So once we apply our solvent, we just wait between 10 to 15 minutes, let it react, see if there's any reaction, and then we can see from there. Okay guys, so it's been about 15-20 minutes, and if you guys come closer, so as you guys can see, there's no swelling whatsoever. As we can see, the paint feels totally normal. There's no reaction to the solvent whatsoever. So from this, what we basically can determine is that the current paint is strong enough to hold any paintwork on top of it.
So we don't have to take the car down to metal. However, we had to strip the car down quite a bit because it is a color change. So we have to get into a lot of the areas. So it's not necessarily a blowover. But once again, lucky the body of Vato is in very good condition. It's got a few dents here and there. So Mujahid, you really looked after your car and you guys did a phenomenal job on the restoration. So once again, thank you for selling me this car. I appreciate it a lot. And speaking of color change, I did not know that Vato was a different color before. So let me show you guys something. So Vato's factory color is actually green. And how ironic is that we're going with a wasabi green interior and the car was green before. So at least it's something of Vato that's originally of Vato that is still going to be on the car. So that's quite a cool thing as well. I really didn't know the car was green before. And again, that's why we're stripping the car significantly, is because of the color change. Definitely need to strip the car more down than what is required when you're just doing a blowover. I was stressing a bit because of all the chrome trim. We have stripped a few 108, so we know our way around it. So next up, I've actually stripped the roof liner. I need to take the roof liner off, and then we're going to strip the dash, and then we can start correctly with the bodywork. But for now, we've started with the panels around the car. So it's looking good, not stressed. There is one spanner in the works. The company that we are getting the ragtop sunroof from in the States did not tell us that they don't have the ragtop sunroof ready. They have to manufacture it. It takes 6 weeks to manufacture. We don't have 6 weeks to wait. So that is stress number 2. The first stress is the rust on the doors. Stress number 2 is part of this car's feature is the ragtop sunroof, and we had to import the sunroof from America. So our stress is we've paid them, and only now they tell us that they need to manufacture it and it's going to take 6 weeks. So Tristan, Mark and Bianca are trying to make a plan to get them to speed up the production, because if we do not get the ragtop roof in time, we cannot paint the roof of the car, because ideally we want to fit the ragtop and do the modification first and then paint. So that is going to cause a little bit of a stress for us. But again, it's old cars, always a spanner in the works. So hopefully we'll be able to get the ragtop roof sooner. So yeah, other than that, I'm not stressing too much about the build. Like I said, not a lot of work to be done. I need your help making a decision. And it's a small decision, but it has a significant impact on the upholstery of the car. So this is our interior color choice as chosen by majority of our viewers, right? So we've got 2 cotton options. We've got a bit of a lighter green, and then we've got a bit of a darker green. So I don't know what color cotton to use. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. So you guys can decide. Once again, this is the lighter green. This is the darker green. And this is the spool of cotton. It's nylon cotton specifically for genuine leather. So this is how the color looks. You guys can see. This is how the other color looks. So let me know on the cotton. Do we go with the lighter green or do we go with the darker green? You guys are going to help me make a decision. I'm leaning towards this lighter green. I'm not feeling the darker green so much, but again, you guys can make a decision, because ultimately you guys are building this car. Remember that. So all of you guys that are sitting at home, if anyone ever asked you, have you ever built a car before, you guys can say, yes, I built the E9 that went to the UK. And you also built the W108 that's also going to the UK. So you guys must feel proud of yourself. So help me make a decision. Are we going with the light cotton or are we going with the dark cotton? We need help deciding on what color wood grain finish are we going with. So these are our options, right? So remember when we were choosing Nkabi's interior, I gave the principle where if we're going with the light interior, we need to go with the dark wood. So what color wood do you guys think we're going with? So this is the leather with the dark green, the light green and the dark green. Do we go with W3? Do we go with W2? Do we go with W1? So I want you guys to take into consideration that this color wood, whichever color we choose here, is also going to be used in the boot install of the car. So we're going to carry the theme from the inside of the car right up until the boot into the sound and air install. So are we going with W3? Are we going with W2? Are we going with W1? I really like the W3. The reason why I'm also leaning towards it is because the car's exterior color is going to be black. So my option that I would say is the lighter cotton, the W3, which is the darker wood finish. So that's my option. You guys let me know which option we're going to go with, and let's make a decision. So looking good. I'm not as stressed as Nkabi because luckily we've done it. And I kind of know more or less where I went wrong previously. And also you guys helped me choose a car that had the least amount of work. So actually you guys deserve another round of applause. So well done to you guys. So I want to talk about the sponsors. And I feel it's important that they get as much airtime as possible. So a massive thank you to Crest Leather for sponsoring us the leather for Vato. A massive thank you to AutoStyle Motorsport, Mo and the team, Zuna. All you guys have been absolutely amazing. AutoStyle has sponsored the tires for the wheels and have also sponsored the ragtop sunroof. Please do me a favor, all these businesses I'm mentioning, please support them because they have to be supported purely because there's a type of businesses that don't shy away from getting involved, you know, and that's important in business. I want to say a massive thank you to V's Autopipes. Terrence, thank you so much. You always support me, and I enjoy doing business with you. Thank you so much for hooking us up with the braided hoses and the fittings. And then, of course, we need to say a massive thank you to Mujib from Deskit, my go-to guy when it comes to licensing. Vato's disc is outdated. He's going to update the disc for me, and he's making us a new set of plates. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you a lot. Massive shout out to Plasma Graphics, Talon and Dad. Thank you so much. You guys also came on board with Nkabi. You guys are on board with Vato. I always appreciate our relationship. We go way back, guys, and that's important to me. A massive shout out also to Ismail from Easy Tracks. When Ismail saw me painting the floor, he sent me a message and asked, what are we doing with the floor? So I said, bro, you know, we have to have Easy Tracks as the final display unit. The reason why I'm not going to put the Easy Tracks now is because when we are flatting and sanding the car, I don't want to actually damage or get the dust to go into the tile. So we'll rather put it once the car is finished painted and we're doing the assembly. So that's the list of sponsors that have decided to come on board. Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot that you guys have faith in me and you have faith in us as building the car. We love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next episode.